Hey guys, I wanted to talk about these Chinese bought Salomon Speedcross 3s, which are the Chinese fake knockoff version of my old shoes, which are the genuine original expensive versions. As you can see, I've had them for 2 years. The treadwear is basically flat, so I needed to replace them anyway. And these are 1/3 or 1/4 of the price. So I wanted to see if they were worth it. This video will be a little bit of a review and just sort of like my experiences so far, and also I'm relacing it, so you can watch me do that. So first things first, these are the Clima Shield shoes, and that's different than the Gore-Tex, and you can tell there's a Gore-Tex tag on the Gore-Tex ones and there's a Clima Shield, I don't know, emblem on the other ones. And the main difference is, and this is true of both the officials and the fakes, the Gore-Tex ones are more waterproof and they're solid inside. The tongue is sewn there for extra waterproofness. They're also much warmer. It's winter outside right now, and these are actually like noticeably significantly cooler. The tongue is not sewn, and at first I thought this was a Chinese thing, but it's actually true of the genuine ones. I went to the store and checked. It's not waterproof up to the tongue, but the Clima Shield, I think Clima Shield itself is sort of a Gore-Tex-esque technology. It is waterproof-ish. I haven't tested it yet. But the shoe itself is more breathable, so I suspect it's kind of a lighter build, probably more of a summer shoe, whereas this one I wore all winter, and it's been great. If you're doing the lacing, you can do all the lace, and then you throw on your little, I don't know, cap thing, and then you have the gear, and you're gonna eventually put the recessed side facing out from the pivot, but don't do it now because you're gonna throw it into this. Pivot side out. And it should snap together like that, and it should work. These are the Kevlar laces. So one thing I did find with the Chinese lace, and I've cut this one, but you can kind of see the end where I cut it. The sewing is really terrible. There's all these loose laces. It's just this frayed mess. I suspect, I haven't taken this one apart, but I suspect these aren't actual Kevlar. These are nylon on the outside and Kevlar on the inside, so they're quite a bit stronger. These feel like some kind of weird cotton or something. So there are a few little things that are just kind of cheaply made. The logo on this side is sort of not sitting in there quite nicely. There's a few little things like some of the seams. I shouldn't have lit it like this. What am I doing? The bottom does seem to be wearing out. This is like day 3 or 4 of wearing them. The bottom is already starting to wear out, which is, I mean, these shoes are notoriously soft on the bottom. The new Speedcross 4s apparently are harder rubber. So I can't testify to that. Like, these are, I mean, absolutely wrecked. But that's 2 years later. This is 2 days later. So I don't know if that's gonna hold up over time. The insoles, you can't see inside there. The insoles that came with it are all right, but these are actually the insoles from my old shoes, and I've swapped them in because the insoles on the genuine shoes are much better. So it's little things like that. It's 1/3 the price. Is it a good value? I'd say yes. I mean, overall, this is a great shoe for 40 bucks. That was American, so like 50 bucks-ish Canadian. Shipping was fast. Shipping was, if not free, then very cheap, a couple bucks. Comes in an epacket. Doesn't come with a box. They come kind of just squished together. You know, in a year, or if they fall apart in 6 months, maybe your value is about the same as the other one if you have to keep replacing them all the time. Also, these laces are way too long. You can see how far they reach down. These laces are, you know, barely hit the toe kind of thing. So there's just a lot of excess. They have these little tongue pouches that you put them in, and that's much cleaner. Bleh, right? That's why I'm relacing it. Also, I like the black. It's just nicer. Okay, if we said that these are gonna reach the toe, I'm gonna cut it here. Ish. We're gonna melt the nylon a little bit. In theory, you're supposed to unsheath the Kevlar a little bit and cut it off, but it's whatever. male end, female end, make a knot. So make it closer to the front this time. And then they should snap together. For what it's worth, this heel, it's sort of a foam, and it feels softer than the genuine ones. And I don't know if that's a difference between the Gore-Tex one and the genuine Clima Shield ones, or if that's just a difference between this one as like a manufactured process. But again, look at how that's sewn. I really do like these laces. They were like $8, and I suspect they'll outlast this shoe. Here goes the top. Sharpie is shockingly impermanent and also not that black, especially when combined with this reflective stuff. So I'm just gonna try this, and it probably won't work. Ideally, you'd use something like a paint pen or like something actually coating it with an actual ink. This might be okay. Yeah, that's really good. I'll probably redo this in black, so it doesn't really matter what they look like right now. I'll just cover it anyway. There's stitching around a hole like that, and stitching in there as well. And if you look at this one, it's harder to tell, but no stitching, no stitching, no stitching on the inside of these holes. So, you know, little things like that. It's probably fine, but you are getting a slightly inferior product. With that said, I mean, would these ever delaminate? Probably not. Will this Sharpie come off the first time they get wet? Probably. I don't know, not bad. So, in the end, you know, for 40 bucks or 50 bucks, I'd buy them. Like, it's a shoe on sale. What are you expecting? I probably, if I had to buy them again, I'd buy the Gore-Tex edition again. I don't think the Aliexpress had the Gore-Tex version. I think they were all the Clima Shield. And I don't know if that's a specific reason or if they just are made in different factories or made in China. Oh, that's interesting. So the Gore-Tex ones are made in China. These ones are made in Vietnam. Maybe they are different factories. So these are sort of like factory seconds out of factory A. And these are factory B. I love a good deal. I might buy genuine Gore-Tex ones again. Just like, you're paying not to have to relace it. You're paying not to have to worry about, you know, the soles breaking down. I suspect these are going to wear a lot faster than these. So if you're buying shoes twice as often, but they're 1/3 the price, technically you're getting a deal, but you know, that diminishes over time, especially if you're paying $10 to relace them. Like, that's 20% of this shoe's worth is into these laces.